to me. In the dark of night, those small hours I drift away when I'm with you. In the dark of night, by my side. In the dark of night, by my side. I wish you were, I wish you were. Here comes the clown. His face is a wall. No window, no air at all. In the dark of night, his faces, they haunt me. But I wish you were so close to me. In the dark of night, by my side. In the dark of night, by my side. I wish you were, I wish you were. In the dark of night, by my side. In the dark of night, by my side. I wish you were, I wish you were. In the dark of night, these faces, they haunt me. Well, I wish you were so close to me. Yes, I wish you were by my side.
I'm moving inside her, lying in the dark, and I think that I'm beginning to know her. Let it go, I'll be there when you call, and whenever I fall at your your tears rain down on me whenever I touch your slow turning pain. You're hiding from me now. There's something in the way that you're talking. Words don't sound right. Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. We could live for 1,000 years, but if I hurt you, I make wine from your tears. I told you that we could fly, 'cause we all have wings, but some of us don't know why. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never, ever tear us apart. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. You were standing, I was there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. I was standing. Oh, thinking about all our younger years. There was only you and me. We were young and wild and free. Now nothing can take you away from me. We've been down that road before, but that's over now. You keep me coming back for more. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. And love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. Isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. the sleep, but not the dream. Things ain't cooking in my kitchen. Strange affliction wash over me. Julius Caesar and the Roman Empire couldn't conquer the blue sky. Well, there's a small boat made of china. It's going nowhere on the mantelpiece. Well, do I lie like a lounge room lizard? The weather with you. Everywhere you go, always take the weather with you. Everywhere you go, you always take the weather. Everywhere you go, you always take the weather with you. Everywhere you go, you always take the weather. You take the weather with you. Everywhere you go, always take the weather with you. Everywhere you go. love you give. I'll be your man of good faith. In love you live. I'll make a stand, I won't break. I'll be the rock you can lean on. Be there when you're old, to have and to hold. When there's love inside, I swear I'll always be strong.
It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. But take your time, think a lot. Why, think of everything you've got, for you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. How can I try to explain? When I do, he turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go. It's not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it slowly. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to go through. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy. That I've cried, keeping all the things I knew inside. It's hard, but it's harder to ignore it. If they were right, I'd agree, but it's them they know, not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
Just as one violin string, while beautiful on its own, cannot create the same sound as that when four strings are played together, so it is with life. We're not one person alone. Our lives are interrelated through links of kinship, friendship, or just simply being part of humanity. Within this gathering, there is a common element. In some way, directly or indirectly, Michael Anthony Townsend, better known to you all as Bill, has touched the life of each one of you here. On behalf of Madison and Lily and their families, I warmly welcome you. Your presence here today is greatly appreciated. We also welcome those who are unable to be here with us and are joining us by live stream. My name is Delma Carpenter, and along with Brendan and his colleagues from Parkside Funerals, we feel privileged to have been asked to conduct this service for you. Please, if you haven't done so already, now is a good time for you to turn your mobile phones onto silent. A funeral service is an important time because it brings a sense of completion for us as we face the reality of the death of a loved one. It gives us the opportunity to reflect celebrate the life of that person that we have lost. Bill had been unwell for a time and sadly lost his fight, leaving us on Saturday the 2nd of April 2022. And I'm sure since that day you've had times remembering moments, reflecting on your own special memories of him. And those memories, well, they may have brought smiles to your faces or maybe tears to your eyes. Bill's life was lived in all its uniqueness, and it has touched us all in many different ways. Today, as we celebrate his life and make him present with us, we bring images of a man who touched our lives, images of his face, of his laughter, his storytelling, images of him smiling when Richmond won the footy, images of him having a stout at his home and at family gatherings. These we bring into our common gathering that the price of losing Bill may be eased by the love and the memories that you have of him. So what was life about to Bill? It was about being down to earth and easy to talk to. It was about being a loyal friend, having a big heart and helping anyone out if he could. It was about enjoying a beer and having a coffee and a cigarette first thing of a morning. About the thrill of finding a sapphire when prospecting down at World River on the northeast coast. It was about a game of snooker, a bet on the horses, about his love of working with wood, especially hewn pine. Life to Bill was about good times with family down at the Black River and Rocky Cape camping and fishing. It was about his sense of humour, being a good storyteller and often embellishing the truth. But above all, it was about the love that he had for his children, Madison and Lily, his mum Lois, who sadly passed away earlier this year, and his brothers and their families. They were all such an important part of his life. To share more of Bill's life with you, I'd like to read his eulogy that's been lovingly written by his son Madison. It goes like this. Dad was born on the 29th of March 1964 to parents Max and Lois. He was the youngest of 4 brothers, Wayne, Ken and Steve. They grew up in the family home in Belton Street in Upper Burnie. He started his education at Acton Primary School, where his brother Uncle Steve recalls that he took him to his first day of kindergarten and introduced him to his teacher. But as he went to leave, he followed him out the door and said, "I'm not staying here, I'm going with you." So he spent the day with Steve in grade 3 class. Needless to say, his mum had to bring him along to kindy the next day. While at Acton and also Parklands High School, Michael played soccer and was quite a good player. Playing as a striker, he enjoyed the game and also scoring a goal or 2. In his spare time, Michael would be at the Burnie Pool or billy cart racing down Belton Street, or his favourite pastime of fishing off Ocean Pier at the Burnie Wharf. On completing high school, he landed an apprenticeship with Burnie Printing, and in his 3rd year won Tasmania's Apprentice of the Year. After a few years working, Michael got the travel bug and moved to Queensland, where he became the assistant manager of the House on the Hill, which was a large hotel and nightclub in Cairns. After moving from Queensland, he began a relationship with Angela, and 18 months later, in 1992, they welcomed their first child, Madison. Later in November of 1992, the two married in Burnie. After the arrival of their second child, Lily, in 1995, the pair bought a 5-acre block of land where Michael, with the help of his mates, built a house from the ground up for his family. He even milled his own timber from trees on the block, which he was always extremely proud of. Once us kids were in school, they too started playing soccer, and Dad was always on hand for a kick in the backyard and even assisted in coaching. Around 2004, he decided on a career change from printer to disability support worker, which he found very rewarding and enjoyable. Michael's favourite hobby around this time was catching up with mates regularly for a game of bocce and a few beers. After divorcing in 2008 and with the kids grown up, he spent his latter years with his beloved Doberman Bella doing things that he enjoyed most, which was working with timber, fishing and prospecting for gold and gems. In December of 2021, Michael was unfortunately diagnosed with lung cancer as well as suffering a series of strokes, and shortly after was devastated by the loss of his mother Lois, who had been his rock for many years. Michael passed away at home on the 2nd of April after his short battle. May he rest in peace. I'd now like to read a tribute from his brother Ken. Ken couldn't be here today from Queensland, and that because of COVID. He says, Michael, or Bill as he was affectionately known, was the family's baby. Bill was a lively, active toddler when I was a youngster, and I remember my mother tying him to the clothesline with a rope as she hung the washing out. Growing up with 3 older brothers, Michael was used to receiving hand-me-downs. However, he never received any of my shoes since I'd worn them out by using them as brakes on the back wheel of my bike. We used to play outside all day as kids, and Michael was always trying to join in. Bill was the right size for target practice, much to Mum's horror. Wayne and I received water pistols for Christmas one year, and oh boy, did we use them. Bill and I both struggled with eating disorders as children, and I recall Bill eating largely crispy bacon. Most foods that were placed in front of him he despised. Mum tried to hide eggs in a sandwich once, but he was not fooled. He peeled the top piece of bread off the sandwich only to say, "Goog, goog," and then flung it to the floor. That was when he was 42. Perhaps that's a tall story, do you reckon? Despite our 7-year age difference, I could always relate to Michael, since he was gentle and compassionate man with an earth soul who liked nature and anything to do with wood, gems and gardening. Mum adored the small carrots and flowers he brought her from his garden when she was placed in Yamuna Park elderly care. I guess being the youngest in the family has some perks to it, as I know Mum absolutely adored him, and I think he was Dad's favourite as well, as we, his brothers, always had to walk to football practice, but Michael would wave to us from Dad's car as he got a lift. We will miss you at Christmas lunches, Michael, and will continue to set a place for you. We are so sad you never got to come to Queensland for a second opinion. You were taken away too soon. You will always be in our thoughts. Rest in peace, little brother. Love you always. Ken, Debbie, Christy, Ashton and Bella. I'd now like to invite Bill's friend Michael Groom to come forward, and he's going to share a tribute with us. There we go.
I first met Bill when I was about 17 with quite a bunch of mates. He had a lime green V6 Ford Capri, and I was pretty impressed. I had a 2-door RX4, and we did a fair bit of street racing from that point on. Not over the speed limit, of course, but the following years there was quite a group of us, most that aren't here today. They're in different parts of the world or Australia, and I sort of want to represent those guys. Dean O'Shannessy, Tony Anderson, Andrew Shepherdson, who's away in the bush working. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get hold of him. Rob Mayhew, Steve Townsend, Wolfer Barker, and Bill and myself, we were a pretty thick bunch of friends, I guess. And the following years we shared houses, shared lots of parties, deep theological discussion, of course, travelled, body surfed, attended lots of musical, lots of concerts, pubs, and it was always a really, really good time with lots of taking the piss and generally just getting on really well. My memories are a little vague of detail on a lot of those times, I must say, so I wish I could impart a bit more detail on some of those instances, but one of the main things I remember was just Bill's great sense of humour and his his bright outlook on lots of situations. You know, he could always throw a bit of light into a dark situation, and it was lovely. And something that really stood out in later years was we used to come up to the Hellier College on Tuesday evenings and participate in the rock climbing. And he was working with disability and working with adolescents, and he'd bring his clients up, or his client at the time, who was quite a troubled youth, and his manner with him was just brilliant. The way he could relate to those wild kids and just treat them like mates and cajole them, but also bring them into community activities and around people, and he wasn't frightened to take them out, get them out amongst the general public, and I thought that was amazing skill that he learnt through his life interactions. I've got a tribute from Queensland from some old mates, Kim Von Bibber and Pauline, his wife. They sent me through something they'd like me to read out. Thanks, Bill, for being a great neighbour at Upper Burke Street, and Ange, of course. Thanks for taking us net fishing. Chris remembers you as a champion, and I'm so grateful for having you as one of my boys' mentors. I remember you also helping me move into Poimena Road and having brush cutting days with Von and smoking a beer after whilst Bella and Ebony played. Camping was also fun. I remember mostly your gentle nature, kindness, and our philosophical, intellectual banter. I always thought you should have studied. I also remember you singing to Bella, which Lily and Nicholas found very amusing. We were also impressed at your one-arm push-ups. Give Bella a big pat from us. Last time I saw you at Wynyard, you were making letterboxes. Clever in many ways. Love, Pauline and Von. Last night I came across a poem which your body will fall apart. Everything that seems permanent is impermanent and will be smashed. Experience will gradually, or not so gradually, strip away everything that it can strip away. Waking up means facing this reality with open eyes and no longer turning away. But right now, we stand on sacred and holy ground. For that which will be lost has not yet been lost, and realising this is the key to unspeakable joy. Whoever or whatever is in your life right now has not yet been taken away from you. This may sound trivial, obvious, but really knowing it is the key to everything, the why and how and wherefore of existence. Impermanence has already rendered everything and everyone around you so deeply holy and significant and worthy of your heartbreaking gratitude. Loss has already transfigured your life into an altar. Thanks for letting me share those. And Ued.
Thank you, Michael. Was there anybody else that wanted to share a tribute with us? I'm sure there's going to be many tributes shared at refreshments following the service. We've been talking about Bill's life in words, and we're now going to see his life through the lens of a camera with an audio-visual presentation.
Somewhere deep inside, something's got a hold on you, and it's pushing me aside, so you'd stretch on forever. And I know I'm right for the first time. Back to nothingness, like a week in the desert. And I know I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you'd better be home soon. Don't say no, don't say nothing's wrong. 'Cause when you get back home, maybe I'll be gone. It would cause me pain if we were to end it, but I could start again. You can depend on it. And I know I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you'd better be home soon. Oh, that's why I tell you, you'd better be home soon.
Photos hold lots of memories. Very shortly we'll be taking Bill to his final resting place at the Burney Lawn Cemetery next door. You're invited to join us, but if you're unable to, you're most welcome to wait here at Parkside for the family to return. Please stand if you're able.
think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade